We're going to Washington to declare, and the ground will shake when we declare it, and the ground will shake, and the ground will shake, and the ground will shake, because the time is at hand that it needs to be declared. It's a time of great shaking because we understand this is the movement that they've talked about. This is the time that the prophets old would desire to be in. They would love to be where we are right now, have this opportunity.
Jesus is making that noise.
I want you to listen to the great prophet Perry Stone
about the prophetic implications of the DC earthquake, where the National Cathedral and also the Washington Monument were affected because it was a prophetic message from the Lord to us.
The great prophet Perry Stone. The great prophet Perry Stone.
It's about tearing down strongholds, and that's the whole point. If you stand and you're on the Word, and once you get that Holy Spirit inside you got to understand that Holy Spirit was in Samson too. And that's what makes us do exploits that people can't understand, and how we can go up to those and powerful places and these governors and these senators, and you say, you can't do this. And you tell them, you have no authority. And when you tell them that, they quake and they shake, and there's nothing they can do about it. Because they understand, they can hear. And that's one thing even about the dark side and these powerful and high places. They recognize authority. And when you speak that authority, you recognize that they recognize, and the game's over. And we're tearing down strongholds simply by speaking the word, saying, thou shalt not. And when we go to Washington, we're going to ask Washington, who is like unto God? Who is like unto our Yah? Who? Okay? You say that Washington is our God. I refuse to accept that. I refuse to bow a knee. I refuse to pledge allegiance. I refuse to acknowledge any kind of hearsay authority from any kind of government that declares its founder as God. And that's my statement, and you can put that on my epitaph, and God willing, whatever it be, will be. But we're going to Washington to declare, when we declare it, because the time is at hand that it needs to be declared. And I've lived all my life down here, and I would never even dream in my wildest hallucination that I would ever live in a country where I would have a nation's capital that depicted its founder as God.
Thank you.
That's a shame, and it's a shame for pastors to remain silent about it. But we're going to Washington to declare, and the ground will shake when we declare it. And the ground will shake, and the ground will shake, and the ground will shake, because the time is at hand that it needs to be declared.
And so we back across.
Stand still and see the salvation of the Lord.
Who is that making that noise? Hands us again. Who is sharing his reign and suffering? Since he died, we rose with him. Oh, like them first century Christians who scared with him. Who is that making that noise? Hands us again. Who the ones who sharing his reign and suffering? Since he died, we rose with him. Oh, like them first century Christians who scared with him.
Following Martin Luther, models important truth to a generation, and yes, we're using the arts to do it. People are marching to the beat of the drum. The evil of some gave Jesus' people the reason to run. Charge with treason for some, but they ain't cower out like Nicodemus had done. Please believe that the reason was pleasing the Son. The squeeze of persecution gave the heathens a reason to come. We ain't quiet about him, we preach Christ to they inquire about him. Watch, we get an eye on the outcome. Both genders, both are declaring.
This is just a one-liner, but apparently you told our producer that they are concerned that the Washington Monument may be tilting. May be tilting. That's all I. May be tilting. That's all I. May be tilting. That's all I. They are concerned that the Washington Monument may be tilting.
We rose with him. Oh, like them first century Christians who scared with him. Who is that making that noise? It's us again. Who the ones who sharing his reign and suffering? Since he died, we rose with him. Oh, like them first century Christians who scared with him.
Listen, heathens were glad to hate us, heated like gladiators. They stripped us naked, enslaved us, and made us gladiators. Branded with nasty labels, Christians were bad for business. Thrown into prison, the Roman officials gladly made us public spectacles, tied us to chariots. Burned of our flesh, the Romans thought that was hilarious. Times were perilous, they scattered us into various areas. Embarrassed us, the catacombs is where they buried us. But now the heathens love us, you know that got me thinking. Could it be that we lost every ounce ounce of our distinction. If we have, Father, I pray you bring us back to the place where we fix the eyes of our soul on Jesus.
If we as Christians consider the price that Jesus paid and the resistance them early saints faced in Jesus' days, and say for instance he let us live past Jesus' age, then we should be screaming in legions the fact that Jesus saves. And we should be screaming in legions the fact that Jesus saves. And we should be screaming in legions the fact that Jesus